console-specific Overwatch balance changes. Can you believe it, ladies and gentlemen? I think this is only the second time in the game's history I've seen specific changes in patch notes pointed towards consoles. I remember a Torbjorn turret change. There may be a few others, but this is something Blizzard said they were going to do a lot of, and then they never did it. They just kind of looked at, I guess, console like a second-class citizen almost. It was like, yeah, you know, we're always changing PC. We're not really doing too much about console. But I know loads of you guys out there play on console, and there's loads of console-specific problems. So to see Blizzard start addressing this is huge news for the community. So check this out. I mean, look at this. This is in the patch notes, and it says console-only changes. So obviously you get all of the patch notes anyway, but then specific console changes as well that only go onto console. So these are not on PC. Look at that. Allied projectile size increased from 0.3 to 0.4. This means Ana's bio rifle is much easier to land shots with on console. This is a buff to Ana. It means she can heal more. This is great. Sentry turret for Symmetra gets nerfed. Now, I know this has been the bane of every console player's existence. Look at that. 34 damage, taken down to 30. These turrets often do a ton of damage because it takes you like a bit longer to spin round and kind of aim at the turrets and take them out. So this is a great change, right? Because, of course, players are using controllers. But there's a whole host of other changes that most likely need to go into console. What about Pharah? Now, I have been told that Pharah is absolutely a nightmare on console, like to the point where she's very hard to kill because she's flying around in the air. It's very hard for hitscan to take her out. Loads of stuff. What I want you guys to do in the comments below is tell me what console-specific changes Overwatch desperately needs. Okay, let's move on to the other changes because these are big. So this one, Widowmaker. Widow's Kiss. Full charge time for scoped shots increased from 0.75 seconds to 0.9 seconds. The developer comments are, Widowmaker has become stronger over time following changes to other heroes, such as power reductions to barriers. This change is intended to slow down her shots, reducing her overall DPS. Now, there's a problem with this. You guys are watching a ton of gameplay in the background here of me playing Widow headshot only mode. And I'm not fully charging my shots up before I fire. This is muscle memory. This is 4 years of Widowmaker knowing when to fire. So why have Blizzard made this change that makes Widow feel very alien to anybody who plays a lot of Widowmaker? Now, I'm going to show you guys a comment from Kefri, a very famous Overwatch Widowmaker streamer. Look at what he says. Widow's ammo is 30 and a charge shot costs 3. That's a total of 10 charge shots. If your goal was to lower her overall DPS, try changing charge shots to cost 5. This would result in a total of 6 charge shots and lower DPS without ruining 4 years of muscle memory. And of course, he tags at Play Overwatch. Yeah, I really do not like changes that affect the flow of a hero. So things like fire rate changes are very jarring. I remember when they did this to McCree, it was like, what? We're all used to playing McCree how he was for years and years and years, and then they speed up the rate at which he can fire, and it feels very different. Of course, recently on the PTR, they did take him back to the old speed, but then decided not to put that onto live, because of course they didn't give him the 50 HP buff. But for Widow specifically, this is weird. This is really, really weird. It feels strange. It feels weird. It makes Widow feel not as great to play. Now, she's still Widow. She's still strong, but you've got this extra little bit of time before you get the fully charged shot where it just sets you off pace. And it's very hard to kind of place this. But I think Kefri's right, and I totally agree with what he said. I think Blizzard should probably look at other changes for that. Anyway, Widowmaker is nerfed. Okay, let's take a look at Brig. So Brig Repair Pack. Armor overheal reduced from 75 armor to 50. Heals per second decreased from 60 to 55. Developer comments here are, on top of the high utility Briggy brings to her team, she also dishes out a ton of healing and armor. We're reducing some of this healing and armor to help keep her in line with the other support heroes. Now, I think this is out of fear, but I think this is also a fairly decent change for Brig, but I also think Brig is still going to be pretty damn good after this. Now, Brig destroyed Overwatch for a very long time. Now, I know a lot of you guys out there play Brig. You're like, oh my god, Sty, you're just ragging on my hero. No. But you guys play whatever heroes you like, that's fine. But she destroyed pro-level Overwatch. She made Overwatch League very bad. Now, I think Blizzard are very worried that she ends up doing that again. So they're being very proactive, making changes to Brig so that doesn't happen again. What I will say, though, is I don't think these changes are necessarily too bad for Brig. If you're playing Brig, you can still play Brig and she's still going to be fine. She still is a strong support hero. The armor, even though it's only it's been reduced, it still is really good at doing what it does. And of course, Brig is just really good anyway. So try not to worry too much, guys. Okay, let's take a look at Symmetra. So Symmetra has been buffed. Now, this is a weird one because Symmetra, a lot of people are saying she's probably the worst DPS in the game. And maybe Torb a little bit is as well if you throw them in. And I guess you could maybe say Bastion. Anyway, look at this, Symmetra. Photon Projector, damage increase from 120 to 140. And the dev comments, increasing Photon Projector's max damage allows Symmetra to play more effectively at a safer range when necessary. Now, this is good. This just means you do an extra 20 damage when you fully charge up your alternate fire and throw that big, fat, juicy orb down whatever choke point you're throwing that big, fat, juicy orb down. But she will still be strong in the situation she's always been strong in. The great classic example that I like to give right now is Hanamura, attack and defense. First point. On the first point defense, you load up the point with turrets and it's beautiful. You put your teleporter down in spawn so you can move quickly back. When you're on the attack, you use the teleporter to get to the point. She's very strong there. No other hero can do that. These buffs to her kind of don't really change the way she plays. They just give her a little bit more extra damage on the alternate fire. So if you're a Symmetra player, don't worry. You're still the same. I mean, you're buffed, right? You just do more damage, so it's beautiful. But maybe she needs a bit more kind of stuff in the future. I don't know. All right, let's take a look at Wrecking Ball. So this was one that confused literally everybody. It confused me when this first went onto PTR. So affected players' loss of air control reduced from 1 second to 0.5 seconds. Now, this is for the person getting hit with Pile Driver. This is not Hammond himself. Hammond himself feels exactly the same. What this means is when Pile Driver hits you, you can move away faster than you could before, or you regain control of your hero faster than you did before, which means you should be able to get away from other damage coming in after you've been pile driven. Now, this is probably a decent change because Hammond is a very strong hero right now. It's very hard to kill Hammond because of a bunch of nerfs that have come into other heroes, specifically to Mei. Mei's freeze duration not being as, or rather the way she applies freeze isn't as fast as it used to be. It means Hammond can escape quite regular from slamming into a team. Mei isn't the hard counter she used to be. Heroes like Sombra are very good against shutting down Hammond because obviously they hack him and he can't get away. Generally, your team will be able to take him out. And McCree, if he flashbangs a Wrecking Ball, it doesn't matter because Wrecking Ball just sits there, laughs, and then rolls away because he's got that much shields, he's got that much armor, he's got that much health. Now, these changes, guys, are pretty damn good. Apart from the Widow change, which I'm finding a little bit weird because I'm used to... Like, it's not like I'm a diehard Widow player and I've played thousands and thousands of hours of Widow. I enjoy playing Widow, and now she just doesn't feel as good. Somebody like Kefri plays loads of Widow. They're obviously in a better position to say, oh, maybe this isn't the right change. I do think she needs a DPS reduction because she is very powerful. Very, very powerful. But on the other hand, if Widow does kill you, you do kind of know that, hey, it was a great headshot or it was a good shot. It wasn't just like a random Hanzo arrow. But the big takeaway from all of these patch notes is we are finally getting console-specific patch notes. That is huge because it means Blizzard have now got the resources, I think, to focus on console and not just primarily focus on PC all of the time. I can't imagine what it has been like for you guys who have been loyal to Overwatch for years and years and years. Notice problems on your platform that never get addressed, or maybe even changes come into your platform because they're on the PC, which just don't make any sense to you and they're just weird. All right, what I'm going to do now, guys, is jump into a crazy video that if you guys followed me on Twitter, you probably would have seen this, but I'm going to not babble anymore. I'm just going to jump into this and show you guys this. It is incredible. Ladies and gentlemen, we have a new god of the workshop. It is Scrooged 5147, which is, of course, his Discord tag. Obviously, he's going to have a name Scrooged, which is beautiful. So what we've got here is the piano works. Now, the piano has always worked, but how can you play music on it? Well, with the recent PTR update, yeah, this workshop legend has built this, and it is crazy. The way this works is you can actually basically import MIDI files into the game. You have to like use an external program, convert it and all this. Honestly, it's way too complicated for me to understand. There is a link in the video description if you want to check this out below. But what we're going to check out is the Pokemon Red Blue Trainer Battle music. Now, if you guys follow me on Twitter, you will know that I kind of showed this off last night. This is honestly, it's peak Overwatch Workshop. It is so good. So as it says at the top of the screen, host player, press interact to start and stop the song, and primary or secondary fire to change the speed. And if you look at the top right-hand side of the screen, it says 100% speed. So let's start this. See the bots spawn in. It's just amazing. It is incredible. You can also remove all the game sounds as well, so you just hear the piano. But this is mental. This is honestly ridiculous. What is this? This is crazy. Like, if you can get a MIDI file of anything, and you can convert it and then add it to the game. What? I wouldn't even, like, if you held me down and said, Sty, I want you to make this. I literally, I don't know how this has been made, and this is what blows my mind. I mean, it's crazy. Let's speed it up. Speed! Oh my god. Look at it. How has this been made? Stop. They're spawning. This is incredible. This is honestly incredible. This is the first time in a long time I've looked at this in Overwatch and just gone, what? This is incredible. Well, link to this, or rather the code is on the screen, you guys can see. But, oh my god. Incredible stuff. I'm trying to slow it down, but I've got... Oh, maybe McCree's a bad pick.